alive.
That's how you feel.
Fuck all the haters, I'm the greatest alive.
That's how you feel.
That's how I feel, I'm the greatest alive.
That's how you feel.
Hey, what's up, man? It's PE to the PE, positive energy. And if you want to get plugged into the newest and latest hip hop apparel, including the TRBRC shirts, go on over to hoodg.com. They got everything you need. They got varsity jackets, they got track shoes, hoodies, hats, everything you need to get right, man. So go on over to hoodg.com. That's hoodgee.com. hoodg.com. One. What up with it? It's your boy PE to the PE, positive energy, aka Bud Butts, aka HI, aka Pep A Spliff. Shout out to the TRBRC, everybody moving and grooving and doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? October the 6th. In Philadelphia at the TLA. It's going down. You got the GOAT versus the Rebel. Arsenal. The GOAT Cassidy versus Arsenal the Rebel. Tickets have been sold out. You will have to check it on pay-per-view if you do not have your tickets. And with that being said, it's Friday night in the great state of Ohio. I don't know if it's great, but we in the state of Ohio. You know what I'm saying? We high in the middle. We got O's all around us, so we puffing. But you know, Friday night, it's Friday Night Lights in Ohio, baby. Football. You know what it is. Got the Mckinley Bulldogs taking on the Euclid Panthers. I am a Mckinley alum. You know, so I try to check my boys out. It was another high-flying game. A lot of action. Didn't turn out in our favor, but it was a great game. Let's get to the highlights. So there you have it. The score ended up being 49-48. The final, I left a little bit early with the score of 49-35. Mckinley made a comeback. They recovered an onside kick, got a on one drive, and got a long punt return on another. 2 more touchdowns by Lemire Garrett to cut the deficit to 1, and they went for 2, failed. So they came up short. This was only the second time in McKinley's history they scored 40 points or more and come away with a loss. They are 220 and they have 220 wins in that situation as opposed to 2 losses. The first time was the 100th meeting against arch rival Massillon when the score was 42-41 in overtime. So usually if they score 40, they win. This didn't happen to be the case, but it was a very entertaining game. As you can see, let's get these stats over real quick. We're going to start with Euclid first because they didn't give no individual stats with Euclid, but I do know that the running back, Mujihad, I think his last name was, he had like 21 carries for 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, running real tough all night. The quarterback was like 6 of 10 for 103 yards or something like that. He also caught a touchdown pass. They did the Philly special or whatever you want to call it, trick play. He ran a little bit, had a running touchdown, so he played well. As a team, they rushed the ball 44 times for 303 yards. They threw for 7-11, 1 INT. Had 121 yards passing. They fumbled once, lost it, had 12 penalties for 120 yards. Mckinley had 31 yards. They actually had more rushing yards, more total yards, controlled the clock. Just came up short. Basically, the pick 6 before half was set them in a hole that they couldn't recover from. But they played hard. They fought well. They never gave up. So proud of the effort they gave. They had 58 carries, 433 yards, 20 attempts, 8 completions with an INT that I just told you about, the only turnover. He did throw for 113 yards, so he's improving. Elijah Wesley as a quarterback, this is his first year, so he's young, so that's always good. Let's check out the individual stats we can. And Elijah Wesley, like I said, he was 8 for 20, 113, pick and a touchdown. Lido had a carry for 10 yards. Elijah Wesley carried. He also carried it for 21 times for 174 yards and a touchdown. Lemire Garrett carried it 32 times for 217 yards and 4 TDs. Manny Powell carried it 1 time for a 26-yard touchdown. You got that on tape. Dilworth had a catch for 32 yards. Xavier Black had 2 for 38. Tyson Durant had 1 for 20, and Jasper Robertson had 2 for 15 with a touchdown. And that pretty much summed it up. They fought hard, gave a great effort, came up short. Both teams, I think, were ranked in the top 10 in the AP poll, the state Division I. They both were 9-3 in playoff teams last year. They both came into the game 2-0, so that was a good early season test. With a young team that showed the resiliency to come back and fight against quality opponent. It's always good to see. We ain't get them this week. We'll be back at them next week. It's your boy PE to the PE, positive energy. And we're going to have some peace. We can't have peace till we come together as one. One love.
All about the positive energy in the culture, pushing the culture forward in a positive direction.
all the haters, I'm the greatest alive.
That's how you feel.
Fuck all the haters, I'm the greatest alive.
That's how you feel.
That's how I feel, I'm the greatest alive.
That's how you feel.
That's how I feel, I'm the greatest alive. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Hey, what's up, man? It's PE to the PE, positive energy. And if you want to get plugged into the newest and latest hip hop apparel, including the TRBRC shirts, go on over to hoodg.com. They got everything you need. They got varsity jackets, they got track shoes, hoodies, hats, everything you need to get right, man. So go on over to hoodg.com. That's hoodgee.com. Hoodg.com. One.